It's Halloween. When the bell tolls low and the tickers fade, by the dip, by the dip, by the dip, every ghoul with margin trays gets paid. Charts are bleeding, screens are red, and the Fed's still whispering rates in your head. Candles flicker green, then die so quick. Shimmer, margins thick, skeleton hands click, limits sell, tough shit. Tough shit, tough shit, tough shit, tough shit. Ghosts of calls you didn't hedge will haunt your face. And brokers laugh behind the gate. When the market crashes, come out to trade. Sell it all, sell it all, sell it all. Fear and FOMO walks through the shade. Buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip. Spirits of stonks rise out the grave. Shorts get burned and bulls misbehave. Leverage, leverage. Pouchance in a ghostly tone. Balance sheets monotone. He spins the wheel of yield again. Inflation sin. Bonds are burning, credits thin. Liquidity vanishes like a whispering gin. Day trade demons, meme lords spawn. Flash their chalks till the midnight dawn. Stones go bump in the night. They chant diamond hands till they're gone. Zombie bags just dragging on. When the market crashes, come out to trade. Sell the fear, sell the fear, sell the fear. Dead accounts still hold unmade. Diamond hand, portfolio tombstones proudly display. Here lies a call from FOMC Day. So light your screen and say your prayer. For every soul who bought too late, still echoes through this trading gate. Laughing in the dark, forever paid. When the market crashes, come out to trade. Buy the dip if you dare.
Oh, brother, oh, brother, oh, brother. Good morning, and welcome back to another episode of the Kohrs Show, where it is a beautiful Friday, October the 31st. We are wrapping up the week, we are wrapping up the month, and we are here to have a good time. Folks, it is not just a Friday, it is a payday Friday. Please pay attention to what's pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. We are doing a payday Friday around, 10:30-ish. We're giving away some cash. We're giving away some prop accounts. We're giving away some good vibes. So check that out. It is free for everyone to enter. All you have to do is like, retweet. That it's pretty simple. It's just literally a tweet. So just like, retweet, and we're going to do the random selection. Like I said, about, hour and a half into stream. So of course, for the cash, it's going to be a marble race. So I hope you've been practicing. And then for the prop accounts, it's going to be that random selection. So free for everyone to enter. Pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. Panda Bull. Maybe. I'm actually feeling a little bit bearish, and we'll be going over that, a little bit of why I am. But folks, if you woke up for the PCE report, I'm sorry you got out of bed early, because we did not get the inflation report this morning because the government is still shut down. So we're going to chit chat a little bit about that. But in terms of what happened from yesterday to today, there's not the biggest switch in terms of politics and all of that. The biggest news recently is Donald Trump is basically saying they should get rid of the filibuster news. But beyond that, We have a lot of earnings to talk about. We have to chit-chat about what's going on with Amazon. We have to chit-chat about what's going on with Apple. But if you happen to place a bullish bet, an upside bet on Amazon especially, but also Apple, a massive congrats to you, because between last night and this morning, obviously the market reacting very well to those earnings. Other than that, there's still a handful of other earnings that we're going to dive into just so you get an idea of what's going on. But most importantly, because it is a Friday and there's a lot of options expiring today, we're going to be doing a breakdown of the overall market, the highs, the lows, the downside gap fills, what's the gamma telling us, what's the vol skew telling us, who's in calls, who's in puts. We have a lot to get into. So, folks, I hope you survived the dip yesterday. And did it do exactly what we predicted it would do? Yeah, all morning I told you at one point, I really feel as if this is going to flush. It finally did it. Your boy made his money. And in fact, I actually finally did a mega, well, not the max, but I did a very large Apex request. So for those of you who trade on Apex, at most, you can request out 20 accounts. I actually requested out 15 last night. Right now, it's still quote unquote pending. I do want to let you know that it's probably going to get denied because I'm pretty sure I broke one of the 30% rules. So they have a 30% consistency rule, and then they have a 30% unrealized risk drawdown rule. There's two separate 30% rules, and I'm pretty sure early on, like day 2 of the account, which at this point was 2 weeks ago, I'm pretty sure about a week and a half ago, I broke one of those rules. So when I get denied, which is most likely what I'm going to assume is going to happen here, you don't lose your accounts. They just make you trade for another 8 days. So I did put in the request, 15 accounts, 2K each, 30K. Maybe it gets approved. There's a small shot. I would have to go back, but I only know my realized numbers. I didn't know, I didn't track the unrealized. So I'd have to look at the individual moves and look at the starting account value at the beginning of the day. And I guess I could fact check that on myself. I just don't feel like doing it, and I'll just wait to see what happens. But I would say there's a 90% chance that the payout request gets denied, and then I'm forced to trace another 8 days without breaking that rule. And then from there, ideally, I would get approved. And then other than that, I still have the other 5 accounts, but those don't have enough trading days to actually do the request. But follow along on Twitter. You can see how it's going. I know when I left you guys, I was roughly break even. And then in reality, after I left you guys yesterday, all the accounts went down maybe 400 each, and then I got them back to break even each, and then I just kept doing a lot of break even trades, and I got stopped out. That's what we were doing in the Discord basically all day yesterday, and then finally in the afternoon the market started to collapse, and I was able to capture that, and then I just moved on with my life. So that's how the trading worked out yesterday. With respect to today, we are in a very decisive moment, if you will. I think right now in pre-market trading, due to Apple, due to Amazon, we're seeing a lot of pre-market strength, and it's going to be interesting to see if this holds or not. Obviously, if it holds, it's going to kind of destroy my concept of the downside gap fills. But even on this pump, I wonder if this is a little fake out and they're going to end up rugging us on this bloody Halloween day. So today, truly going into it, I don't have the most bias really, but we're going to see how things end up really, really playing out here. So with all of that being said, here you go. S&P 500 NASDAQ futures rise after Apple and Amazon earnings beat. So obviously we're going to be getting into that. But most importantly, it is a payday Friday, celebrating the final day of the week, the month, and obviously happy Halloween to all of you. One of my favorite holidays. We're giving away $150 cold hard cash and 10 different prop accounts, 5 from Funding Futures Network and 5 from Vanquish. Both of these companies are running massive sales today that end today. Vanquish, 70% off and a free reset. So if you want to do sim to funded trading with options, Vanquish right now, this is their best deal ever, not only celebrating the holiday, but they are officially 1 year old. So once again, 70% off and a free reset. So if you wanted to do sim to funded options trading, check out Vanquish. And then also FFN Funded Futures Network, their deal is ending today. 50% off, buy one, get one, and no activation fee. Both of them, just use that code Goonie. So Funded Futures Network is if you want to trade, obviously, futures, while Vanquish is if you want to trade options. Both are in the description of the video. Both, you can find it pinned to the top of chat. So not only are we giving away some of these accounts today, but I just want to let you know that those deals are actually officially ending today. So if you're trying to have fun on this Friday, you might as well get in while things are a bit more affordable. So with that, I just want to let you know, right here, we got a bounce around 4. This is because of the earnings of Apple and Amazon getting a nice pop up until about 8:15. We're giving a very tiny bit of back right now. The SPY is pretty much where we opened around, 10 a.m. yesterday. The Qs are a bit above it. Technically, there's another downside gap fill on the NASDAQ, but you could see all why. Apple looking very good, up 2% in pre-market, while Amazon, AMZN, is up 13.5%. So basically, Amazon saved the market yesterday. We're going to be honest. If Amazon and Apple came in and they missed, or if they fumbled in the slightest of senses, things would be bloody red right now. But the clear, crazy outperformance from Bezos's brainchild here, AMZN, is why things are looking so good in pre-market trading. Now, I just want to let you know that at one point we did have the PCE scheduled for today. No longer. Government still shut down, so that information did not come out. At 9:45 today, we're still getting the Chicago PMI. So for those of you paying attention to that, yeah, in the short-term day traders, scalp traders, there might be a little bit of extra, trade volume hitting at 9:45, but nothing too crazy on the docket today. Obviously, as I've already mentioned a gazillion times, the biggest story of the day is earnings. So we know coming into this, Meta completely fumbled the bag. Microsoft didn't completely fumble it, but it wasn't so good. And then Google's was very good. Fast forwarding to today, Amazon very good, and Apple also pretty freaking decent. So we're going to be talking about those two, but there is a list of other earnings that are worthwhile to dive into: Coinbase, Reddit, MicroStrategy, Rocket, Riot, Cloudflare, Roku. So let's take a look at some of those. Amazon raises spending forecast to $125 billion as third quarter results top estimates. These were crazy good. Amazon Cloud records 20% sales growth, topping estimates. Even though this was so good, I'm still kind of impressed the fact that in the last quarter, this is when they had the huge mess up and AWS went down, and basically they took down a third of the internet with them. And everyone was pissed off at Amazon a week ago and another time a couple days ago. And yet now I guess all is forgiven. So part of the reason why the tech sector and the overall market is so bullish right now is because of Amazon's incredible quarterly performance. Apple sees big December quarter driven by strong iPhone 17 demand. So for quite a while, people were starting to wonder, is the heyday of the iPhone over? Are people finally moving on? Is this phone dominance from Apple a thing of the past? And based on the most recent quarters, not really. It is still there. So once again, Apple looking pretty decent. Beyond that, Coinbase earnings top estimates helped by robust trading volume. People love trading crypto right now, especially with the volatility. Reddit shares rise on earnings beat, strong forecast. You're starting to see a little bit of an evident thing here. Tech doing pretty good. But from this morning, remember, these all reported after the market closed yesterday. Early this morning, some of these energy plays, not so much. Exxon earnings fall on lower oil prices as OPEC raises production. So Exxon, Chevron not having the best of mornings. And even though this isn't an earnings call out, this is just news that happened yesterday and it's related to tech, I wanted to share it with you. Netflix announces a 10-for-1 stock split. If you ask me, based on the recent performance of NFLX, the ticker for Netflix, which has been going down and down and down, right in the middle of kind of a culture war right now. When you see this type of thing, a lot of people assume hey, that's going to be pretty good. And at first, Netflix does go up. But if you look at it in pre-market, that was just a little bit of a flash in the pan, not really holding. And if you ask me, it was almost seemingly a way to stop the recent hemorrhaging in the stock. And unfortunately, the timing of it was not solid. So Netflix, unfortunately, even with this quote unquote news that is commonly perceived to be bullish, it's not going that well. It's not going that well whatsoever. Very quickly, if you haven't already, sign up for the newsletter. It is 100% free. You've never had to pay for it. You're never going to have to pay for it. It comes to your email inbox every single Sunday. My mod will drop it in chat. If you're watching this right now, there's a good chance you're already signed up. But if you're not signed up, sign up. It's free. You're going to get a breakdown of what's going on in the market, cheat sheet for earnings, cheat sheet for all the major macroeconomic events, and most useful is the seasonality of each individual day. Just so you know, today, Friday, October the 24th, which is not right. I must have accidentally messed. You know what? I'll just switch that. Yeah. Wait, why is this? Why does it go 28th, 29th, and then to the 23rd? That doesn't make sense. First of all, how did none of you guys call me out for this typo? How did I not notice that? That's actually an embarrassment right here. Let's fix this one. 30th, and then let's go to the 31st. That's Wow, this is embarrassing. All right. Let's publish that. All right, it should be fixed now. Not that it really matters because today's the final day, but I will make sure to double check all the dates for the upcoming week. But anyway, coming back to the seasonality, I like to do the S&P 500 seasonality for each individual day so you guys have some stats, facts, and figures to back up your trades. And just so you know, historically, over the past 20-ish years, 25-ish years, this day has favored the bulls. The bulls win it 60% of the time, so they have a 10% edge. But you could look at the equity curve here. Yeah, in the past couple of years, it's been more of a hit, but overall, it is trending to the upside. Is seasonality the end-all, be-all? No, but it gives you an idea of the headwinds and the tailwinds. And I should let you know, I was already completing the seasonality analysis for next week, and holy crap, is it bullish. Let me just show you one little thing. I don't have the exact odds. Hang on, right here, seasonality. Check this out. Hang on. Get rid of that. I want to show you next week. How fascinating is this? Next week is the single most bullish week of the entire calendar year over the past 5 years and over the past 3 years. Once again, you are hearing me right. Next week, the first week of November, is the most bullish week of the entire calendar year based on the past 5 years worth of data and based on the past 3 years worth of data. And if you look at the 10 and 20 years, it actually still holds strong. Technically in all those time frames, is it the absolute strongest? No. But it's up there. It's up there in pretty much every single time frame. So when I was looking at the individual days, it's just like I'm telling you this right now, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of next week, the seasonality of each individual day is bullish, which is exactly when you cumulatively add them together. It's how you get the most bullish week of the entire year. Now, take that information and use it if you want to. Don't use it if you don't have to. Obviously, that doesn't mean it's been bullish every single year. But in terms of odds, if you're just always playing the high odds situation time and time again, you should know going into next week, it's not just a bullish week, it's the most bullish week of the entire year. This time around, maybe things change a little bit because we've already hit an all-time high and maybe people decide to take their profits. Maybe. Or maybe, like we've been doing for week after week after week, we just hit another new all-time high. Obviously, I am not clairvoyant. I am simply a panda bear, but I just want you guys to know those stats, facts, and figures. So sign up for the newsletter. My mom will drop it in chat. You can find it in the description of the video. Let me clean this up a little bit because I want you guys to be prepped up, and we're going to do some review. Looks like right now in pre-market, Apple's holding well. Amazon's actually kind of pushing back to the upside. To quickly go over some of these other ones that have already reported, Reddit is up a nice 12% in pre-market trading right now. Coinbase is up 3.3% in pre-market trading. Roku, how's Roku doing? Down 3.8%. Riot, a mining play, is up 3.9%. And I feel like there was, MSTR, MicroStrategy is up 5.6%. So those all reported yesterday. ExxonMobil, what is Exxon? Exo, I'm sorry. ExxonMobil is down 0.4 and CVX, I believe, is Chevron. Is that right? CVX? Yeah, Chevron is currently up 1.3%. So across the board, things are looking pretty good in earnings season. Am I by any means saying that earnings season was perfect? No, we understand that some took a hit. Meta took a pretty sizable hit. Microsoft took a pretty sizable hit. Chipotle took a pretty sizable hit. So yeah, there were some that I guess quote unquote bucked the trend, but overall, earnings season has been decent. And if you watch my update video yesterday, you're going to understand that sometimes when everything is too good, it actually makes it problematic as a trader. When earnings are good, when the political narrative is solid, when the Fed is doing exactly what we expect them to do with monetary policy, sometimes you get into situations where everyone loads up the boat on bullish bets. And just because of supply and demand, there's such a demand for bullish bets that people end up overpaying for calls, which means that things need to get better than a phenomenal situation for those calls to pay off. And if they don't, people have losses. They sell the calls back, it drops the delta, and then all of a sudden you get this giant call unwind, which granted, relative to where we are 2 days ago, that idiosyncratic risk is going down. Things have calmed down. Calls have kind of balanced out a little bit with puts based on that little flush, that 1% dip yesterday. But the overall situation is still it's bullish. If I looked at it from a fundamental perspective, I would say the bulls are like clearly the bullish bet is the right bet. But sometimes the bullish bet isn't the right bet if everyone is betting on the bullish outcome. It's one of those things, and I don't know, maybe I'm too much of a contrarian, but when I see everyone loaded up on one side, whether bullish or bearish, it makes me wonder what's going to happen that gets them all rugged. And once again, just to be clear, yesterday relative to today was more extreme. There was a lot more people on the bullish bet yesterday than there was today. Calls were relatively far more expensive yesterday than they are today, and hence we saw a little bit of a rugging yesterday. What is that going to mean for today? Well, I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see how the data comes in, see what the bets are. Remember, the market's very dynamic. New bets come in, old bets leave all the time. I can only comment on the data as we actively obviously have it, but right now, we're still leaning bullish in terms of what's happening in the options market. We're not as extreme as we were, but time will tell. Time will absolutely tell. People got effed on BTC, reached 126. People took profits, so the market went red, even when it was mostly good news. Yeah, I mean, that type of stuff happens all the time. Remember, active trading and investing are two completely different things. And I find that there's a lot of people, especially in the retail community, who kind of overlap the two, and they think one day's performance somehow has any influence whatsoever or commentary related to fundamental investing. One day's movement, 1 week's movement has literally nothing to do with investing. That is all on the trading time frame. Day trading, scalp trading, swing trading, trading and investing, they seem similar because they both happen in some form of a market, whether it's futures or crypto or derivatives or equity. And people think that they're the same because whatever trades and opinions and thoughts are executed in the market. But I'm telling you folks, they are wildly opposite of each other. Do not ever conflate trading and investing. They are two completely different games with two completely different strategies of success. And you can be hyper successful at both. You can be a crazy good active trader at a high frequency trade and you're trading millions of times per day, or you could be a good long-term investor like Warren Buffett. They both exist. I'm not saying one is better than the other. I'm saying don't conflate the two. And I feel a lot of the times people make these grand fundamental assessments based on one movement, whether positive or negative. If one stock, whatever, takes a hit in a day, they're like, fundamentally, this stock's destroyed. Or if it goes up one day, they think fundamentally it's amazing. Or maybe because something is fundamentally amazing, they want to day trade it in the long position, or they think it's fundamentally horrible, so they want to day trade it in the short position. Folks, do not conflate those two. They're two completely different things. And I'm not saying one's better than the worst. I'm just saying treat them as two different sports because they are two different sports. All right. So on that note, I guess I should set you guys up. I do want to give you my key levels of the day, but before we do that, I kind of want to give you the structure. This is the daily chart for the S&P 500. Price structure is strong. We have higher highs and higher lows. That is is the easiest way to define trend. When you can get this, why is that not showing up? What color is this? I can't use this anymore. Why all of a sudden does that not work? Inputs. I don't know why this is blocked out on me, but okay, whatever. Fractals was the name of but anyway, we have higher highs and higher lows. If you have higher highs and higher lows, all these pivot levels, that's gonna be bullish. When price is above EMAs, all these major EMAs, that is strong price momentum. When you put those two together, it's really hard to argue that this trend is not bullish. Higher highs, higher lows, prices above momentum. And obviously the options market is always in flux, but right now, there is a decent amount of positive gamma. Unfortunately, this positive gamma is to the north side of us, which means as we go higher and higher and higher, price action is going to slow down. Because remember, positive gamma is where things get sticky. It is hard for price to really traverse through all of that. So anyway, positive gamma has returned a little bit, but overall, relative to what we've seen, it's a lot less positive gamma. So please be mindful of the fact of how much negative gamma there is in the system relative to when we've been trading in the past couple of weeks. You can see we're all the way up here at 890. So we're going to see how things end up playing out, obviously, throughout the day. Where are we right now? We're at 871. So here are my key levels on the day. I'm looking at 75. This is where most likely we're going to open. This is a key open interest level, obviously very close to yesterday's high. If the bulls break above that, these are my targets in order: 6,900, 6,910, 6,920. Key technical level, psychological level, and open interest level. 910 is a key open interest level, and the 920 is, I believe, the all-time high. However, if 875 fails, I'll then be looking for a failure down to 850, which has been the major pivot level of the past trading week. At this level, that's just the start of the transition zone today, where I would expect choppiness in this. And then obviously the bottom of the transition level happens to align with yesterday's low. So bullish above, choppy within, and clearly bearish below. If we end up shooting out of this, I guess if you happen to be bearish, 875, my first target would be 850, followed by maybe 840, 825, and then for some reason, if things start to break down today, reach targets would be 6,800, and I'm by no means saying we're getting this today, but if you just need additional targets, just in case craziness does happen, 6775 and 6750, and just because I didn't give you to the upside, I should. For some reason, if we break and hit a new all-time high, my next target past that would be 950, 975. So in a nutshell, these are the levels I'm watching. Obviously, my bull case is up here, my choppy in the middle, and then obviously my bear case is down here. So feel free to screenshot this. Feel free to write these down. Feel free to completely disregard them. In reality, these are the levels I'm using, and I don't really care too much if you find them, if you want to use them or not use them, because it's you and your money, and I'm not your mom, and you're in control of your own trading account. So those are the key levels I will be paying attention to today. From a structural standpoint, I still want to call out the fact that SPX has two downside gap fills. SPX to 6807. I really thought this was going to get hit yesterday. It obviously did not. And then there's an additional one down to 6749. Please pay attention to that. And then NDX, the NASDAQ, has two, but they're even farther away. We're talking 25,418 and 25,126. So NDX, the NASDAQ, does have two downside gap fills. If you look at the Russell, which is actually the weakest one right now, it actually has no downside gap fills, but you could pay attention to this 50 EMA. So for those of you playing the small cap sector, pay attention to that. Moving on to Bitcoin, there was a bit of bullishness. We almost had a technical breakout, ended up being a double top just to send us down to a double bottom. So if anything, we're range bound. After hitting this all-time high at 126,000, we vomited, reversionary bounce, and ever since then we're going nowhere. Little up, little down, little up, little down. We are not breaking this trend. So basically just either wait for this channel, if you're a Don chain trader, wait for the breakout or wait for the breakdown, and that's the active trade on Bitcoin. The other one that people have really been paying attention to, and for good reason, is gold. I'm kind of looking at this might be the reversion here. We had this huge rip, we bounced, we got knocked. We tried to bounce, did not happen. Came down to roughly the 50 MA. We overshot the psychological level, and right now it's trying to recover out of there. In terms of risk reward, this isn't a bad setup. You could go long here. You're risking the recent low, and your target's the all-time high. That's a potential setup. I'm going to be completely frank with you. I am not playing it, but in terms of risk reward, you are trading with trend. You got in on a dip. You didn't chase the high. I don't really necessarily dislike it, so I just wanted to call that one out to you as well. Of course, throughout the day today, we're going to be looking at Amazon that had this gigantic gap up. It's so funny that Amazon was looking like crap. Closed out the day at 223, 222, currently trading at 250. Be careful of profit taking at open on this one. Apple gapping up to a new all-time high. That means there is a downside gap fill. Meta getting clocked by its earnings. I'm waiting for that push of 681 to maybe try to fill this upside gap. Nvidia hitting an all-time high 2 days ago, but recovering a little bit this morning. Microsoft not doing the best with earnings. There is an upside gap fill to about 536. Tesla, no earnings, but overall it's trying to grind. It really had this big pop, hasn't done anything for about a month, but overall it's just a classic accumulation phase. Palantir hitting an all-time high, actually looking pretty strong in pre-market. AMD all-time high 2 trading days ago, kind of looking just like Nvidia. Same thing with Broadcom right here. Across the board, a lot of these semiconductor plays are looking very, very similar. So the setup, just looking at price, is bullish. From a technical perspective, there's an important asterisk caveat here. Pay attention to the downside gap fills. And on Amazon, pay attention to profit taking at market open, maybe also a little bit on Apple as well. Looking at the options market, this is a big pivot from where we normally are. We currently are going to open around 75. We're opening, if you take away the 0 DTE, like just not even considering today, right here, we have some negative gamma. Like that has to be considered. So with that in mind, like yesterday, maybe not as extreme as yesterday, expect larger ranges, expect bigger swings, which means maybe it's good to kind of calm down your size, calm down your leverage, because it seems like we could easily have bigger swings. So I just wanted everyone to be a little bit prepped up for that. Of course, throughout the day today, we're going to be looking at the flow on the Mag 7, on the S&P 500, and in reality, we could check it out for whatever you want. As you guys are just joining right now, don't forget, today is a payday Friday. We're giving away $150 of cold hard cash in a marble race, and we're giving away 10 prop accounts. We're giving away 5 futures accounts and 5 options accounts. Shout out to Funded Futures Network, and also shout out to Vanquish Trader. So we're giving away 5 of the Vanquish right here. Here's my Vanquish account, and then also 5 of the Funded Futures Network, which my accounts are right up here. So I, as you can see, have not traded yet today. I've been attempting to be a good boy and be disciplined and do what I know I should be doing. So we're going to see how today goes. And on that note, let's get ready for market open. Well, there we are. Dingity ding ding ding. The world's largest casino is now open. Best of luck to all. Play responsibly, and if not, have fun. All right. Apple, Amazon, please be careful of profit taking right at market open. That is an important thing to note. Whenever you get these big gap ups, a lot of people who are playing that position overnight are more than happy to take their profits. So please be ready. And hang on, I need to finish up coffee thoughts right here. Hang on. What do I want to say? Remains neutral. Hang on, I'm getting spam callers. I'm expecting larger ranges. It's a good time to leverage down, in my humble opinion. God speed. Happy Hello. I should probably spell it properly. Happy Halloween. I'll give you $5 to check the options flow in Soxo this morning in about 15 minutes. 9:31. Here. What the fuck was that? Am I losing my mind? I just got some weird... Oh, wait. I forgot to turn on the bot. Boom. All right. One of the bots are turned on properly. What was the... You said on Soxo? I just want to get it up so I don't forget it. Soxo. So this is going to be the flow on the... really the AI. Honestly, you should probably want it on SMH because this one's a little... It's going to be the same thing. Soxo is the ETF of semiconductors, but it's 3x. And whenever you see the leveraged ones, they're less liquid. So really what you even if you're trading Soxo, you should probably care more about SMH. SMH is going to be a bit more liquid, have a bit more action, and you can see they're pretty similar this morning, but this is giving you an idea of the processing chips, aka semiconductors, but obviously more than happy to check in on that. As I kind of anticipated, I told you guys, be prepared for profit taking right at open. The question is how much profit taking is there going to be? The Q's already got their downside gap fill, so that was actually the easiest downside gap fill play that we've seen in like a week and a half now. So if you played that, congrats to you. We opened up above yesterday's high and we quickly kind of flushed right to it. Very popular play. Does it work all the time? No, there's currently still gaps in the chart, as I've already explained to all of you. There's a gap, so we don't always get it. But as you could see this morning, we opened up above the high. You can see our opening value was above yesterday's high, and we cleaned up that one, but there are still 2 deeper ones. So it's a very statistically, it's a high accuracy, high hit rate play, but that doesn't mean it hits all of the time, if that makes sense. Folks, if you haven't already, I would love for you guys to take a quick second, smash that like button. It really does help me out. Whenever you guys turn on your notifications, comment in chat, that increases engagement, and the Rumble and YouTube algorithm overlords that run my life very much base things off of engagement. So the more engagement that there is, the more this is going to get promoted, and that would basically just mean the world to me, and it's the major thank you that I'm looking for. Obviously, we put all this stuff out for free, and I'm more than happy to share my thoughts and opinions. So if you guys just want to say a quick thank you, smack that like button. Does help grow the community, and then it ends up becoming a win-win for everyone involved. But folks, I hope you're having a great week. I hope you had a great month, and I hope you are ready for... What is that noise, dude? Oh, it's the new noise for TradingView, I guess. Yeah. Oh, okay. That's they updated their sound. Interesting. Okay, I was confused. I thought my mind was breaking there for a second. I know you guys didn't hear it. It's all in my own head. But I guess we're getting some of these breakdowns. So if you look at momentum this morning, we were on the bullish side of things. This is what is going on in my head. This is why I'm feeling a little bit panda bear bearish today. Dude, what is happening? It might not be that. What is the noise, guys? I don't know where this sound is coming from. And it's... Hello? Dude, I'm losing my mind. There's like this huge... Oh, you could probably hear it now. What is it? You heard that one? I have no clue what's going on. But this is an important note. I want to show you scanners here, and then let me show you my watch list. Cool. Okay. When things are pushed to the right, here, let me see how all these tech plays, Meta, Amazon, Apple, Avago, Microsoft, NVIDIA. So if you look at the last 10 days, 3 days, okay, things have been calming down. Dude, what the fuck is this news? It's this. It's coming from SpotGam. I just saw is it a flow alert? Can I change that? Dude, I'm losing my mind. I'm losing my mind today, folks. I think is it the flow? Key levels, is it in this? Is it show alerts? It might be this alerts thing. So maybe there's like a flow alert somewhere, especially because I have so many of these up. That might be what it is. Dude, we're already losing. Anyway, back to this important conversation. When things, okay, so if you're up north here, high IV, that obviously that just means premium's expensive. If you're down south here, you're going to have cheap IV, so cheap premium. Then right and left means, are people YOLO'd into calls or are they YOLO'd into puts? Or another way to say that, dude, what the fuck is going on right now? Can I mute site? Okay, I muted the site, so I'm pretty sure it's SpotGamma. There must be a new alert that I just not... Okay, I muted the site now, so we shouldn't have to hear that anymore. But anyway, back to once again this. This means if we're all the way over here, it means calls are on a relative basis expensive. If we're all the way over here, that means on a relative basis, puts are expensive. So you're basically getting an idea of high and low IV versus what it's the skew, it's the vol skew. So everyone recently was really way too much into SPY, Qs, all of this. You can see Meta's still pretty expensive, Amazon's still pretty expensive, but over the past couple days, they've been shifting back down. So if you saw the update video yesterday, we're not as extremely bad as we were, like loaded into the bull camp, but things are still obviously in this quadrant. Oddly enough, Google and Tesla are quickly coming back to being quote unquote fairly priced. We're seeing some profit taking on Apple. We're seeing a little bit of profit taking on Amazon, but not much. We saw the downside gap fill on the Qs. We're popping up a little bit. There is no gap right now on the SPY from yesterday. It's from a while ago. But what I'm looking at today is basically, as I've already shown you, these key levels. I want to see this test to 50. And then from there, it's going to be very informative. On the flip side, also, if we just break out of yesterday's high at 6881, that's also going to be very, very informative. So I'm watching 6881 and I'm watching 6850. Those are my first levels of the day. Of course, I'll also be paying attention to momentum. 5 minute, 10 minute, 30 minute is now on the bearish side. The 4 hour is still bullish. However, if you look at, oh, nope, tech is now the same. 5 minute, 10 minute, 30 minute is all bearish. I know that's crazy to say because of the overnight pump, but over the past hour and a half, things are kind of coming unglued, at least in the short term. Now, just because the 5 minute is getting hit for the first 8 minutes of the day, does that mean, is that the end all be all? No, not the market change. I mean, look at yesterday. Things go wild at any moment. But I just do want to let you know, hang on. I'm happy I figured out that sound. I feel a little less crazy. All right, here we go. Here's the Mag 7. Here's SMH. Just to show you what's going on in semiconductors, they're still looking strong. It's going to be somewhat similar to the Mag 7, but the semiconductors right there, it is pushing up. No one's really playing it for today. That's this teal line. The purple line is for all expiration put together, so more so bullish than bearish. The Mag 7 popped going flat. S&P 500 popped and now dropped, so not really trending the most. So let's just wait. Let's wait to see. We kind of took a hit. We had some profit taking at market open for the first 2 to 3 minutes, and now we're range bound. So on the SPY, are we going to break on top of these wicks or below these wicks? Same thing with the Qs. The Qs just, Apple's getting hit right here. Apple's getting hit. Apple is definitely getting hit, and that's not going to be so good for the Qs. What about NVIDIA? NVIDIA's having a good open. Microsoft and Apple are going down. The number 2 and the number 3 biggest stocks. So if this one's diving and this one's diving, that's not going to be so good for the SPY and the Qs. Of course, NVIDIA is going the opposite way, kind of undoing it. But if NVIDIA starts to go, remember, NVIDIA, Microsoft, and Apple are the 3 biggest stocks, as in they have the 3 biggest influences on the SPY and the Qs. So you might want to be watching those flows today. You might want to be, where was Apple on this list? Apple. Yeah, Apple, people were overpaying right here. People were just simply paying too much for calls. And even with the gap up, they're probably not going to be in profit. And if they are, it's going to be far less than they think. And now they're going to unwind it because they're going to be pissed off about it. And this is going to shift and it's going to drop the delta. And when you drop the delta, that pushes things lower. And that's the exact phenomena you're seeing in Apple right now. That's exactly what you're seeing in Apple right now. Amazon is holding on a little bit better. Let's pay attention to that. NVIDIA is also looking decent. So we know Apple and Microsoft not looking the best. Amazon and NVIDIA are holding on. If they keep going up, yeah, I think this could recover. However, if Amazon and NVIDIA start to break down and Apple and Microsoft get worse, we're going to have a legitimate problem. Has anyone in here passed the FFN test? What happens after the exhibition account? Pavel, I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing that properly. Pavel, I would assume is how I properly say it. Once again, my apologies. I passed it. I got an email that I just have to wait for the account to be upgraded. Remember, they have a very fast response line. So if you have any questions and you want to hear from the company directly, go to their chatbot. You're going to get a response very, very quickly, especially during the work week. Where am I at? Okay. All right, so I haven't made any trades. The bot is on today. I'm excited about that. I'm actually surprised the bot has not traded yet. Why has the bot not traded? It might be waiting for the next 10-minute bar to break down. I thought it would take this Orbo trade right here that we just did. I'm a little surprised it didn't. Oh, look at this entry. Right where my cursor is, 920. Granted, it was before market open, so if you don't like trading before market open, what a beaut. We rip up, we drop, we try to recover. All the EMAs flip. Remember, this is the 50, the 20, and the 10. We bounce back up to the EMA cloud. We fail. Beautiful entry at 205. We do it again. You have another entry at 200. You're at a key level. Your risk is either 08, your risk is either 13, and now you're already up 75 plus points, and you just got to ride this all the way down with minimal risk. Granted, not my trade because it happened right before market open, right at market open. I guess if you had balls the size of the Mississippi, you could have got in at 60 here. We pump back up, almost hit it, starts to break. You flush, maybe you're in at 55, risking 75, 20-point risk. That's a little bit expensive, but hey, it worked out. Your stop's now break even. You're probably riding this down all the way to 26,100. What a day. What a day that would have been. No breaking down. There's no crying on Halloween. There's no crying in the casino. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Let me switch myself back over to this side. We are coming to the low from 2 days ago on SPY, which means we're coming up to my first test level, 850. This has been the bullish bearish pivot level for pretty much the entire week, and it is that once again today. It is that once again today. Remember, we are bullish on the top side, choppy within, bearish below. So this push right here doesn't necessarily push us bearish. I think some people are going to freak out, and more people are going to probably play the trade to yesterday's closing value all the way down at 22. But this is that choppy zone. So I just want to see 50. I want to know what basically happens at 682.50. Ooh, the Qs are still going. Amazon's holding flat. Oh, Nvidia's starting to show a bit of weakness. Meta's not looking so good. Apple's maybe getting a little bit of a bounce. Ooh. Folks, some of the big dogs, I'm talking about the big dogs, are looking a bit weak. Apple, Nvidia, and Microsoft. Remember, in order, Nvidia is the biggest. Microsoft is next. Apple is next. At least it was as of yesterday. Amazon is the star of the show. People are going to be looking to this to save us. If Amazon starts to break down, Nvidia starts to break down, Microsoft's already going. Apple was already going. If we see weakness in the big players, there could be probs. There could be problems at 50. However, I have no prediction here. Remember, the point of marking out these levels is not to have a prediction of what happens there. It means pay attention when we get there. When you come to these key levels, 50-50 shot. You either have a beautiful bounce or you have a breakdown. 50-50 shot. We lay out these levels because it's where other, like it's not where other, unless you're a massive player yourself, but it's where big players are structured at. For right here, I could see a giant call credit spread, 6905. If you are bearish to neutral today, great. Go join that party. I could tell you how many people sold up there. They sold 11,000. This is an under bet. So for my sports bettors in the audience, they're basically saying, hey, by the time the casino closes today, the stock market closes today, we will be below 6,905. They don't care if it's to a cent or to $100. That is how that bet pays. This structured bet right here. It is a call credit spread, and it has been growing since the market opened today. Yeah, it's been getting bigger. It's about 11,000 at the moment. So that's a call credit spread, and that is, once again, a neutral to bearish bet. If I zoom out, I believe I thought there was a put credit spread somewhere. No, there is no put credit spread. So you have this gamma node at 40, which is going to be halfway through the zone. That's why I marked out 40 right here. So 50 is important, 40 is important. Once again, there's your 40 node. The name of the game as a day trader, as a swing trader, is pay attention to where big money is positioned. Then when we happen to get in that rough zone of where big money is, you're not trying to predict what big money is going to do. You're paying attention to what big money actually does. I'm telling you, big money is positioned right here. Big money is positioned right here. In the event, well, we're already at this first one. We're going to watch. Do we bounce out of it? Can we get a low risk bullish opportunity to play it back all the way up to 75, where we're literally just risking this dip? The risk reward, phenomenal. If we break down, great. Then we're watching. Maybe you play the breakdown there if you once again find a low risk, or maybe you're just at this point then waiting for 40. The name of the game is not to predict. If you're a trader, scalp trader, day trader, whatever you are, if you're playing the short term, it's not a game of prediction. It's a game of reaction, and just react to the key levels. Matt's toxic masculinity degrading male crying is very problematic. I think there's nothing more masculine than crying in the shower 8 times a day. I think some would say that's the most masculine thing you could actually do. Apple and Microsoft are not helping the NQ. No, they are not. The big players are starting to look a bit weak here. The biggest player. All right. Wow. It's almost as if this was a key level. Now, did I play that bounce? Absolutely not, because it's against the overall trend. Remember, I like to look for the larger trend based on whatever you define as the larger time frame, which is going to be specific to you and your trading style. And then I look for a distortion in the shorter time period where, so basically right here, I see bearish, I see bearish, I see bearish. I'm looking for a little short-term pop that then the pop ideally goes back in phase with the overall trend. Obviously, you might be bullish on the day. And if you are bullish, well, right here, this pop was pretty phenomenal for you because you're in at 53, you're risking 50. At this point, you could set your stop to break even and you already have a lotto ticket play. it's a freebie play. And if we bounce all the way up, great, awesome. You get all that profit. If you're wrong, doesn't matter to you. You're out for break even. You guys saw me do this a lot yesterday. Remember, if your worst downside is break-even trades, that means you can trade an infinite amount. So if you're only getting your big winners once in 20 trades, who gives a shit? 19 trades are break-even, 20th trade it's a big windfall, your account is looking pretty good. Obviously, that's just a hypothetical situation, but you get my point. This game, investing is about like prediction of, I don't know, longer-term thematic developments. That's investing. Trading is a game of math. It's a game of discipline where can you keep your risk management under control? I know a lot of people try to predict and they come up with these models in day trading and scalp trading, and they're all full of shit. None of them are profitable traders. And if they are, they're making more money off the courses they're selling you or like the bullshit that they're peddling you. They're not, I think there are, in the retail, education, influencing space, I can't say that there's not other great people out there. There are. Like in this community, I've met great people, and there's people who I haven't met, but still I could tell from the stuff they're putting out, they're solid. I'm not saying our community is the only one who's trying to approach this in the proper way. But what I can tell you is there are many, many communities out there who just have no fucking clue what they're talking about. And that's what I appreciate so much about you folks is I think a lot of you are putting in that effort to kind of almost rewire your brain from how we were initially taught about trading. I think a lot of us, when we were initially taught, it's as if there's this like magical, mystical puzzle, this holy grail of a situation where if you just understand that, you're going to make money every single day on every single trade. And then I think a lot of us maybe at first become disillusioned to that, or now we're becoming disillusioned to it. And we realize, no, it's more of a game of blackjack or poker where, yeah, even if you do the right thing, you're going to lose sometimes. But over the long term, we're in this for the larger data set where can we just make the right decision time and time again, and in the aggregate, be profitable. That's what, in my book, trading's about. Maybe you agree, maybe you disagree. I just want you to know that if you disagree, you're wrong. Not many put their money where their mouth is like you. You're the only one who's been on trading for years. I don't know if I'm the only one. I appreciate that. That's very kind. I think there's a couple people out there who have like withstood the test of time. Unfortunately, it's few and far between. And a lot of them have no fucking clue what they're talking about. But I think there's a couple people out there where maybe they're not exactly like my cup of tea in terms of their trading style, but I can respect it. I mean, remember, there's many. I deeply believe there's a million different plus profitable trading strategies. It's just, can you find the one that works for you? Can you find one that works for you in any general sense? I don't think that there's one perfect way to approach the market. I think it's different based on what you're trying to trade, your time frame, your risk tolerance, your personality. I think there's many, many factors that go in. But the beautiful thing about the market is it's so vast and complex that there's so many different ways you could do it, which actually means that there's so many different ways to be profitable. I will be the first to tell you, nothing I preach is going to be necessarily perfect per person. I'm just letting you guys know how I approach the market. If it works for you, great. If it doesn't work for you, okay. I hope, even if what I do and tell and explain to you, if it's not good for you, I at least hope I can help you in getting to the path that you find the thing that does work for you. Because if anything, I'm more than happy to call out like bullshit and like show you all the red flags of a lot that I see going on in this industry. Even Spot Gamma Dude was jelly of Matt's P&L. Well, that's because I have an unhealthy risk tolerance, while most people, something's a little bit off in my brain. I am much more willing to take on risk than is probably healthy. And that is true not only in my trading career, but just like in my life. But once again, that's a personality thing. That is a personality trait. Like, hang on. Speaking of taking on risk, some people are less risk adverse. Actually, like I remember at some point in college for one of my psychology classes, we had to take a some personality test that for some reason or another did have a risk aspect to it, where you realize like what percentile you're in. And I'm definitely not in the 99th percentile. Like there's actually like sociopaths out there who don't understand risk like at all. But I was very high relative to the test and also relative to the class. But I don't know. I don't know if that's nature or nurture. But my point being is that's just one little thing. That means all traders are different. So what works for me might not be what works for you. But that doesn't mean we can't learn off of each other. Like, for sure. Risk. That explains Megan. That's funny. All right. So here's a look at SMH as requested. It popped, went flat, not really moving the most. Mag 7 popped flat, has been selling off ever since 940. And looking at the S&P 500, we went up, took a big hit, really, really choppy at that 850 level, but we did end up, as of now, bouncing off of support. My curious question is, will this bounce fail? You don't know. Oh, fuck, did I miss?
Order submitted.
I missed it. Fuck. I should have been in here at 11. Oh, I missed it. We ran up. I had an opportunity to get in here at 24. Probably would have been sweating, but technically it would have never really hit my risk. I had another opportunity. Ooh, is the market going to give me another opportunity? Whoa. What the fuck happened to that account? This is the bot account. Oh, it got a horrible fill on extra size. Ooh. Well, that bot's not looking so good. Here's a look at a lot of buyers lining up at 77, 78. Point of control is 100. All right. In a weird way, I'm kind of happy I kind of missed that. This was a very valid trade for me in my system. Very valid trade. So the bot, this is the Orbo one. Remember, we're making the video in the background of just like the Orbo trades, adding on filters for direction. As I said this morning, I'm really surprised that one didn't take the first 10-minute bar. I don't know why it waited for the second one. And right now it's under pressure, as you can see. It literally went short at the low of the day and just didn't get its fill. But if this starts to collapse, obviously it's going to end up being fine, but that's a big if. But clearly the trend in the short term for my day traders, for my scalp traders, is down. And I'm just kind of paying attention myself here to what I should be doing. 1830.
Order submitted.
I'll take this trade.
Order submitted.
I'll take this trade. We'll see. First trade of the day. The trade of the day was literally, it bounced back into the 50 EMA, and I'm hoping it rolls over. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. I feel like I'm trading with trend. Lower highs, lower lows. SPY delta's kind of messed up. Mag 7 delta's been pointing down. I don't know. It's all about risk management. How do I want to handle this first one? You know what? Let's be...
Order filled.
Oh, shit. Hang on. All right. That was way faster than I thought. All right. Stop is at break even.
Filled.
The Orbo locked in 195. My manual trade locked in. My stops break even. It's a freebie trade. Bada bing, bada boom, folks. I locked in 425. I have a runner, and it's a free runner. Worst case situation, I'm out for break even. Best case situation, we'll just let it ride. That's not actually my target. I'm just setting it there to not mess shit up. I should probably do some quick math. Hang on. Let me do some quick math. Hang on. Quick math with Matt. Minus. All right. This is the most I want to go for today. Maybe knocks me out for break even. Maybe there's a rejection here at 100. I don't know. It's a freebie play. 10 a.m. reversal? Maybe. Easily could be. I don't know. I'm not claiming for it. I can't tell you the next bar. No. Here we go. It's going to knock me out. Is it going to knock me out? You coming for me? This is what happened literally all day yesterday. You guys saw me getting just hit for break even so many times. Psychologically, that's a big hit. It sucks like time after time after time. But it's a game of protection, especially when you're doing these SIMDA funded accounts. I find that it is a healthier way to approach it. And even if you're knocked out for break even 9 out of 10 times, whatever, it's break even. I'm not saying it's psychologically easy to handle, but think of the math. Rely on the math. If you're knocked out for break even 9 out of 10 times, okay, 9 out of 10 times, you put in some effort, you got nothing from it, but you also didn't get hurt. And the reason you do this is because that 10th time, and once again, I'm just hitting you with hypothetical numbers, you catch the vomit all the way down and you basically got that profit for free. So right here, it's getting really close. It looks like this is going to knock me out for break even, but whatever. I made $400 per account. I have 20 accounts. I made $8K. Like you can't cry about it. It is what it is. And maybe this is that 10th time. It's, I think, a really good metaphor for it. Recently, we've been using poker and blackjack and those types of metaphors. I think a really good metaphor for this also is fishing. It's not like every time you throw in the lure, you're expecting a fish, but every once in a while, you catch a good fish. I do these little scale outs just to pay for the bait, and every so often, you catch that like trophy marlin. I'm going to be honest, this time does not look like I'm catching it. We're getting a little too close. Even if there's like a little bounce here off 100, it's going to knock me out. And knowing my luck, here's what's going to happen. Someone's going to throw in a quick buy order at 100. It's going to knock me out. It's going to vomit and go all the way down to this level anyway. How many times have I streamed to you guys that shit happens to me time and time again? And once again, is it psychologically painful? Without a doubt. But you do it because that 10th time, the 9 times you're throwing in the bait, you're not catching shit. But once in a while, you catch that great white. And from a risk reward perspective, it is worth it. And who knows? Maybe this is the time that it does work for me. I don't fucking know. I don't know. No one knows the next bar. If someone knew the next bar, they would have the most wealth in the entire world. We'll see. It's like pulling a slot machine arm. Yes, but we're trying to do it where the slot machine arm is free to play. That's exactly what I'm doing with moving the stop to break even. I'm more than happy to play a casino game if it costs me nothing. It's a free lottery ticket. Rare to hit, but when it does hit, it could be big. That's how I approach the market. Maybe you like that, maybe you don't. Maybe you can take that methodology and contort it where it's even better, and maybe it better suits you. I'm just letting you guys know how I do it. And I'm just hoping that 100 here, a psychological level, ends up actually really behaving as resistance. But we're kind of range bound. If it like literally to the point of 2 points breaks out of this range, I'm going to get knocked out for break even. And it is finding way too much support here at 83. So it looks like I don't have the best of vibes. Vibes are currently low on this trade. But maybe, getting better. If we take out 83, I have a shot. That's this recent low. Oh, wait, no. What's the... sorry. The recent low is 80. Come on. If we snap 80 right here, this is this low. I have a shot. If I wanted to secure some money, I could move it down to 101. That might be a smarter play. Is it coming for me?
Order filled.
Knocked me out. Just wicked me out. Whatever. Made money. Made 8K. It happens. You never know when it's coming. You never know when the good move is going to come, so you have to protect. It's the marathon. I have no idea when the actual flush is. As I told you, there's a really good shot, knowing my luck, that this is the pump, and it knocks me out, and then it goes for the official dump. It happens. It happens. It happens. I don't think it ever gets easier to accept those situations where you're like, dude, I had the position. Why couldn't I just like take a little bit more heat? And you say that a lot, but I just want to remind you, it's really easy to focus on the times that it went in your favor. And it's very easy to forget the times that you get knocked out and it just completely ripped against you and you would have lost all of your accounts and the game is over. That's why I think journaling is so helpful, because it helps you like appreciate the actual data and the actual play out rather than just you focus on the times that everything went wrong and you easily forget all the times that it went right. Right here. I probably can complain about, like, I told you guys how this was going to play out. Did I not tell you guys that the perfect way to do it if you want a 100% trade accuracy system, is whenever I have a trade right there, I was buying. So for you to sell, I swear, when you look at my exit orders, if you're just doing the exact opposite, I told you guys, if I was willing to take 5 points of heat, but really easy to focus on that. Really, really, really easy to focus. In all reality, as I was talking, I probably should have re-entered at 4 because then I could have had 10 points of risk. I probably should have done that. Shit. I was a little slow. Oh, what time is it? It is 10:04, 10:04, 10:04, 10:04. Mag 7's picking up a little bit. SMH coming off a little bit. SPY slightly drifting down. We're right on top of 50. So I would feel a little bit more confident chasing this if we snapped 50. Fuck, no. That
Order
was 10
submitted.
points of slippage. All right, I need to be smarter about that. It flashed. I did a market order. I thought I was getting in at 83 right here, pushing it. I was like, okay, cool. I'll risk this recent one. How much? Ooh, that is not. All right, here. Let's just set the first profit target pretty close, and then I'll just I'll just de-risk, try to quickly. Maybe I could get lucky. The market order, I saw the flash, and I was already clicking the button. Ugh. 74, 77. Come on, just fill that really quick for me. Fill it really quick. No. I'm just trying to de-risk as quickly as I can. Right when I was clicking it, I was trying to get in the low 80s, and I saw the tick bar, like, it just flashed quick, and I was like, fuck. Right away, I knew I was getting a bad fill. But maybe 100, 105, 60. Okay, people are at 50, 60, 65, 55. So what we'll do is we'll move this to 55. We'll move this down to 05. Okay, I like that. Well, I don't like my fill. Like I said, I was trying to get in right on this bar, about 8 points higher. But we'll see how this plays out. We don't need this. We don't need this. We can move this up here because I need to check the options flow. So we got a little bit. They flushed it below 50. And now we're testing. I find this to be very important. I do not like the entry. But it might still work out in my favor. And if this little pop right here fails, I could always just use this high as my risk, but that's a big if. Obviously, I need the pop to fail. I need the pop to fail. And the pop is yeah, I wanted in on the break of this bar. I probably would have locked in one and already been out for 2. Shit, my entry was way too late. That's going to cost me. Oh, fuck. How do I want to handle this situation? I guess we got to just start praying, you know? We are in the, okay. 13. I got to be smart. Don't get tilted. It's okay to take a losing trade. It's all right. Mag 7 is popping, but the options flow is not. The SPY did get clipped, bouncing. Oh, fuck. How do I want to handle this? I wanted to be in right there. And at this point, I would have been knocked out, obviously. I would have locked in a little one, and it didn't run. So it would have, like the first trade, it would have already been break even. And now I'm at the point in the trade where because it got too chasey, but maybe mathematically the right way to still to treat it is as if I did get the right one, which means I would have already been knocked out. Fuck. Fuck. Okay, hang on. Let's look at the flow. Mag 7, price is up, but the flow is getting hit. S&P 500 prices up, but the flow is getting hit. I know price is moving against me, but look at this. That's getting hit. That's getting hit. How is price still going up? We're getting dumped on here. These calls are getting hit. Do I just need to withstand it? Fuck. I don't like this. Now we're going outside the bounds of math and risk, and we're going for a little bit of fucking luck, and I hate being in that position. Hate being in that position. Oh, I love the delta setup. Options are getting hit, but price is just not reacting to it. I need to be careful here. I need to be very careful here. All right. Let's just keep it calm. I'm not 100% screwed, but if price keeps going, even if the other data pieces are looking good, sometimes you just have to admit when you're wrong. Sometimes you just have to admit when you're wrong. Fuck. Come on, lucky break, lucky break. Okay, here's a look at the flow. Mag 7's still going down. This is kind of why I'm staying in the play, but even this, we started to dip, and it's just, holy shit, man. I don't get what's going on here. The options market is coming undone, which I thought would be a godsend for me. When I was looking over here, I was like, wow, Mag 7 is just diving. NASDAQ was diving. But yet, it just bounced. What the fuck, dude? I don't know, man. The ranges are picking up. Do I average into this? If this shelf here breaks, the question is, do I average in? Apple's getting a little bit of a hit over here. Where's Amazon? All right. I think I did something either really smart or really stupid. So I added in one more, which I shouldn't have done, immediately on that extra one through the risk to the recent high. And then I put the profit target at the break even just to increase my average fill on my quote unquote normal position. So I just need a little bit of a 10-point flush to, I'm just trying to improve my average fill. Don't want to carry 3. Already had the risk set. We'll see. Fuck. Come on, just a little bit of a flush. I thought that range breakdown would help me. It tried to pump. The range seemingly failed. I'm liking this rejection. I'm not trying to be greedy with it. Once again, I'm trying to get the fill right at my entry just to delever. Just trying to delever. Fuck, dude. It is. Is it going to fail at 100? No. Fuck. Not an unlucky break. This is looking really fast because I'm on the 100 tick. I really thought I was being smart there with this range. Like we popped up, the range started to break. No, fuck, it's not. Somewhere in the NASDAQ, it's catching a better bid. I don't have a good feeling about it. These ranges. Oh, got a little hit there. Come on. Just let me out. I'm just trying to get out at my fill. I added in one short to increase my average, and I then put the target to just get out there at the new average. Fuck, it's saving itself. It's just this battle of 100. Come on. Just one little bar. Just let me de-risk. So the initial entry was at 74. My new average is 6 points higher at 80 because of this ad at 92. Fuck. That's a higher low. Come on, just flush it. Here we go. Flush it. It should be fine because the buyers are at 75. Like I'm front running this by 5-6 points. There we go. Come on, let me de-risk it. No. There we go. All right, so successfully de-risked it. I know it says 83, but that's just poor math from Ninja standpoint. My fill's 80. You should. It says 83. That's not good math. It's because it's the order of the contracts that it's getting out and whatever. That's boring math. But what you need to know is my initial short was at 74. I threw in an extra one at 92. I unloaded the one at 92 right there at 80. So my average is now 80. So we're playing it off the 80 level instead of the 74, helping me 6 points, which is nice when we're considering where my actual overall risk is at. All right, let me do some OCOs here. Well, here, what do we have? Maybe I should have de-risked by 2. Slightly in the red on the day. I think my break even is 90 for the account because of that first winning trade. Oh, what are we doing? What just happened to Amazon? Weird pop in Amazon, seemingly saving it. All right, patience. Big battle at 50, as I promised you. I don't know who wins this battle. No one on this planet can tell you who wins this battle. I can tell you there's a 50-50 shot. We sold off to it, we bounce. We sold off to it, slight overshoot, we bounce. We sold off to it again, slight overshoot, bounce. We're just getting absorbed at this level. I don't know who's going to be more aggressive here, the Bulls or the Bears. Obviously, I have a position that you could argue my entry was not a quality entry, but my position will benefit if it breaks down. But I'm here to tell you, like, just to be completely transparent, the odds are 50-50 of it going my way. This could easily... we're trending down, lower highs, lower lows. We can break that trend right now. We could take out these highs. We could take out 55, 57. We could take out 61. We could put in a higher low, and totally 100% could happen. Also, what could happen is we could test it for the 4th time and we could just vomit down to 40. Like, that's the first case is the bull case. The second case is the bear case. You play it accordingly. And the point of playing it accordingly is just, can you take advantage of what you're perceiving to be the trend with low risk? It's always about just low risk, which is what I'm trying to emphasize. And that's exactly what I just did not do. That flush of like 10 points, that kind of fucked me up. Oh, how can I handle this? It's a Friday. We're getting that bounce there. The Mag 7 flow did dip at 1016, a little bit of a bounce. That's definitely going against me. Holy shit. Okay, so people are slightly getting out of puts. They're buying puts, selling puts, and they're buying calls. and it's 0 DTE call. So bulls are stepping in at this 50 bounce in the 0 DTE call market. That's this green line right here, starting right at 10.15. 0 DTE call buyers stepping in, raising that delta. If they keep doing that, I'm going to get steamrolled. If they keep, I don't know what that alert was about, but let's put the alert. Amazon got a little pop there, which probably helped people. Apple not doing the most. Nvidia, Microsoft, everything's getting a little bit of a bounce off its intraday low. And the question is, how strong is this bounce going to be? Time will tell, but I need to, before it happens, define where my pain line is, because this trade, it feels like mentally it's getting a little bit away from me. Where will I have to pick a point where if it just hits, just fucking no crying in the casino, just take the loss and move on with my life. Where would that be? No if, ands, or buts. Sometimes shit just does not go your way. Where is my pain line? I kind of like the concept of this recent high, but we do have this upsloping trend line that's becoming interesting. Right there. I'm watching this. If that breaks down, obviously my position should benefit. But on the flip side, it also means we have a higher low. So as soon as we have a higher high, the trend could, at least in this particular time frame, be switching. Fuck. It's getting close. It's getting close to a level that I am not liking, folks. And is the SPY flow still strong? It was, oh wait, hang on. SPY flow completely changed. It had a big pop. Okay, so I was going to be completely creamed if this kept going. But look at, more people just got into some puts. They bought some puts and sold those calls. It's a battle here. I don't know which way it's going to break. That was hurting me for a second. Mag 7 is still showing weakness. We just got to watch how the big money's going. And watch this trend line. I don't know if we're going to test it, but feels like that is becoming pretty important. Mag 7 popped up. Is it about to put in its own higher low here, or is the delta about to drop to a new intraday low? S&P 500 just got clipped. Let's see if we could get a trade on Vanquish here. Buy. Let's do 10. Market, confirm and send. All right, let's get a Vanquish trade in here. Fill 1340, so 1490. Close with 1490 is where I want out. All right. Should get a fill here. Come on on the push. Filled. 1.6K. Bada bing, bada boom. You saw that trade in real time. How do I clear all filters? Check that out right there. In 10 out 10 day realized P&L, 1.6K. Shout out to Vanquish. That's an easy way. I bought some puts quickly there. And then, that also means that I'm back to break even. Well, remember, this is kind of off. It says 83.50. My break even is 80 on this particular trade. 80. Well, that's a nice 1.6K, and that's on a funded account over there with Vanquish. That's nice. That's real nice. All right, how much? 80 to 20, 35. So that would be 45. So 45. So I'm doing 45 because, remember, I said my average is 80. The risk I took on was 35 points. So I'm trying to make at least one of them a 1-to-1 risk to reward. But this might just be a fake out. This might be the little sweep low and then we pop. I don't know. I'm not going to lie. I was feeling good for a second there. I was feeling smart for a second there. And then this pop is making me feel not so much. Look at that pop. 60. Dude, we just bounced fucking 35 points like it was nothing. It took a minute. A minute, dude. These bounces are so brutal. This is like yesterday. These large ass ranges. Fuck. It's just getting pinned to 26,100. Same thing here. You snap that trend line. I thought we were going to get going. Damn it. I was too slow with the option. Look at that. 2 minutes of puke, 3 minutes of recovery, and we're back to me being in the fucking pain seat. Well, at least I made the money on Vanquish. Oh, which way is it going to break? Which way is it going to break? All right, we don't need that trend line anymore. All right, here's what happened. They try to push it below 50, did not hit 40, and then they bounce it right back up. So once again, the battle still remains at 50. Here's a look at flow. The Mag 7 did hit a low, but off that flush, people are buying the dip. So dip buyers, well, let me just double check that it is dip buyers. Yeah, some calls are being bought. It's dip buying. Not so much on the S&P 500 though, more on the Mag 7 on these calls. You could see the calls on that dip really pop there. So dip buyers did step in. The question is, are they strong enough? Oh, SMH just took a hit. Microsoft is looking weak. Apple is just at its low of the day. Nvidia is getting a slight bounce off its low of the day. These big... Ooh, Meta's not looking so good. Tesla's going. Yo, Tesla and Palantir. AMD looking good. Avago not so much. Hood is looking good, up 7% SoFi. So some tech plays are looking good. Tesla's looking great. Palantir's looking great. AMD's looking pretty solid. Microsoft not so good. Apple not so good. Meta definitely not good. And Nvidia was looking bad, showing a little bit of a reprieve right now. I assume that call buying that we just saw in off the 204 level was probably Nvidia, if I had to guess. Shit, that bounce was big. We just bounced 45 points. I am not being quick enough with my orders and I should have had the break even in there. This is the third time I should have already been knocked out for break even, and unfortunately I'm just carrying it, opening myself up to potential risk. This isn't good. I am not by any means. You saw it yesterday. I was a bit better. The second we had a decent flush, I was like, okay, cool, break even. And I got stopped out a lot, which is completely fine. But I was taking risk off the table, which for some fucking reason I have not been able to today. Yeah, I'm not happy with my own performance here. Folks, if you haven't already, remember, we are doing a Payday Friday giveaway. $150 cold, hard cash, 10 prop accounts, 5 for Fund and Futures Network, 5 for Vanquish. Vanquish is where you just saw me make this 1.6K trade. 70% off today and a free reset. On Fund and Futures Network, 50% off evals, buy one, get one, no activation fee. Code Goonie on both will work. Once again, you can see the deal. It is pinned to the top of chat. It's in the description of the video. Here's all the information, and we're doing the $150 of cold, hard cash. So feel free to enter. All you have to do is follow these directions, retweet, and follow. It's free for everyone to enter. Retweet, and follow. Pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. You should all participate because why not? It is a freebie. A freebie. I am not liking this. The failed bounce. Inherently, a failed bearish breakdown by definition has to be bullish, which is why I'm not comfortable with my position. Which begs the question, why am I still in it? Am I in it to be disciplined and to give it a shot? Or am I in it because I'm being undisciplined and greedy and hopeful, even though I should get the fuck out? Which is it? Which is it? Which is it? Which is it? I am not I just need to be... this is the third trade today where I should have just been quicker. Fuck. I need this below 26,100 on NQ, and it's just not happening, which is the point of control, dude. I'm playing with fire here. This is getting dangerous for me today. Like, if it cracks, cool. I'm awesome. I have a shot right there. There's a crack. But every single time it cracks it, it just pops right back up. So maybe I can be smart this time around. Well, there's the height of the recent bounce. There's the height of the recent bounce. Here's the breakdown. NVIDIA, Apple, Amazon's going down. That should help me. It's just, dude, it will not snap this 100 level. There's too much support here. If it snaps 91, okay, this time around, I need to be better on a flush of moving the stop to break even just so I could have a freebie play. Overall, the accounts, I would say 1 unit down by 400 or 500. That's fine. I do have a winning trade. Actually, technically 2 winning trades already locked in, which is why my total P&L is better than my unrealized P&L. But I don't like being in this situation where I don't mind the 50-50 plays when my risk is way lower than my reward. Right now, we're getting to the point where they're kind of equal, or maybe worse than that, which is why my demeanor has changed, because the math of the situation is, at best, I'm playing a dangerous game, or at worst, like I'm opening myself up to a sizable loss, which I don't like. It's one thing if you're opening yourself up for a reasonable loss, that's the game. Okay, yeah, you take that in stride. But due to, I switched over to Vanquish, and on that flush, to be fair, I can bitch and moan that I wasn't quick enough to react. I don't know if I would have reacted. In reality, I get that this was really, really fast. But on the snap, I probably would have been like, no, man, it finally snapped. This is exactly what you were looking for. So, like, as much as I'm like complaining that I was slow to react, even if this played out in a very slow way, I'm not sure I would have. So I think, just being honest with myself, the fact that I don't know if I would have handled it better regardless of speed, that's, I think, what really pisses me off. I think that's what really pisses me off. Fuck. Dude, this is not what I want to be seeing. The expanding pattern, this is, in my humble opinion, the worst thing to play. You have lower lows and you have higher highs, as in the market is not trending. You're getting, this is the definition of whip. You're whipping higher, you're whipping lower. When you have higher highs and you have lower lows for whatever time frame you care about, whatever you're paying attention to, I abhor these fucking setups. It's the worst shit. I need to do something here. Come on, Matt. What is the right thing to do? Beyond fucking pray. I gotta be proactive here. Yeah, this isn't good. Horrible setup. Amazon's going down, though. Amazon's getting clipped. NVIDIA's getting a tiny bounce. Microsoft's getting a tiny bounce. Apple's doing nothing. Meta's doing. Tesla's still going. But Tesla's not going to be enough for this whole fucking thing. I don't like it. I hate higher highs and higher lows. Right here, we flush low at 1022. And since then, we've bounced and taken out the previous highs. It is that's one of the 4 setups. You either have higher highs and higher lows, lower highs and lower lows, lower highs and higher lows. That's consolidation. Or you have expansion, the microphone, higher highs and lower lows. That last one is what we're seeing right now. We took out the lows, lower lows, and now we have higher highs and higher highs. The final one it's just dog shit, in my opinion. The worst shit to deal with. And unfortunately, not only are we getting that, we're getting it, I guess I would define it as a bad beat, where it happens to be overlapping, where I've just been atrocious in my reaction to risk. And now I'm fighting the trend being that fucking rube looking for a miracle turnaround. So bad decisions. Regardless of how this trades out, whether I make money, lose money, or in break even, it's a bad trade. If we're defining the trade quality based on like the decisions and the management of it, once again, no matter how this plays out, making money, break even, or losing money, this is a bad trade for me. I did not handle it properly. 100%. Oh, and now I'm fucking holding on to nothing here. Yeah, fake out dip at 1021. Even this, we took out that high, we took out that high, we took out that high, we took out that high. You know you're in a bad position when you're looking at it and you're like, dude, this was such a great long trade at 1031. And yet I'm fucking holding short. Dude, how do I handle this one? I guess I'm stuck between, do I just take this fucking hit, which is now going to do, basically I'm giving back what I made yesterday. So in terms of the overall count, it's like not the worst thing, but it's a psychological hit. Or do I just fucking pray and like go for the miracle turnaround? See, someone just asked, how's the options flow? When I was in it this whole time, it was looking bad. It's recovering a bit right now. Well, technically, it just took a little bit of a hit, but like that's a strong recovery from 1023 up. Here's a look at the S&P 500. It once again, from 1020 up, we're getting a recovery. Oh, I fucking hate this. Not good management on my part. Not good management. Yeah, that's a strong bounce. I'm not necessarily beating myself up for quote unquote being the easiest play, but I could have handled this better for sure. Even in a tough play. Even in a tough play. Dude, that flush to fucking 60. I was up 20 points. 800. I was up a K. So even if I just had that rule of going for like 500 or a K a day, I would have already been out. Yeah, like not happy with it. And now, unfortunately, I've painted myself into a corner where I kind of need this to get like smacked here. See how we're coming up to this high that we saw at 945. I need this to be a double top rejection, which whatever, that's possible. 50-50 shot. You come to a key level. Okay, 50%, whatever plays out, 50%, whatever plays out. It's possible, but I don't like playing these 50-50 games. I don't mind 50-50 games if the risk reward is worth it. But right now I'm playing a 50-50 game where the risk is very much fucking not worth it. And I'm so pissed off at myself. And now I feel frozen. I guess part of me is thinking a little bit about, okay, like where's there going to be like mean reversion? I'm thinking about this pump of even can we get back half the distance? Like, because right now we're just kind of fucking launching, but that I hate that. And even as I've said to you guys in the past, like when things are bad, if you're like, oh, if you're very quickly then becoming of the mindset, well, like, can it get worse? The answer is pretty much yes. It could always fucking get worse. And in fact, it could get worse very rapidly. So, the advice if you guys were me, the advice I would have given you is you should have already been out. And in fact, you could have probably switched long and I probably would have already, son of a bitch, dude. That's the crazy thing about trading is as I've been like, I literally have been streaming this to you and like, you can know the right thing to do, but then getting yourself to actually fucking do it. Like I said, I probably would have flipped long at maybe 1028, 1030. So not only would my loss have been less, I would have been riding this higher right now, making this money, and I probably would have been back to already green on the day. Like it's such a fucking brutal thing, knowing what you should do, calling it out. Such a weak play. So disappointed. We were begging you to flip. Well, that you can understand I don't really give a fuck about because you trade your account and I trade my account. I mean, if I based everything off the stream begging me to do something, you guys have begged me to do things that would have like been absolutely atrocious. Like that doesn't make sense at all. And that's the cool thing about trading is you get to trade your account and I get to trade my account. And I guess I'm sharing my thoughts. And I hope from my missteps, as you guys saw in real time, me calling out what I'm doing as being like mathematically the wrong play, I hope someone else learned from it. And like kind of understood exactly, fuck, dude. It's not even giving it a little bit of a fucking breather. No, but this idea of just following with the internet, not even necessarily specific to this chat, but I'm saying like, okay, let's look at like Twitter as a whole. Following the masses. Remember, most people, like statistically, lose money when active trading. So if you're doing what the herd is doing, you're gonna lose money. This is getting, my stupidity. I can't believe I'm doing this to myself. After such like a solid fucking performance where I just like, I think that's why maybe I'm going through this pain right now. Well, it's getting so bad to the point where now I'm just praying for a fucking miracle turnaround, which who the fuck knows if that's going to happen. I assume the miracle turnaround will happen the second after I get blown the fuck out. Oh, shit. It's just frustration knowing that you could do better. Knowing that you should do better. Following, like, it's almost like maybe sitting at the blackjack table and, like, you know exactly mathematically where you should hit, stand, double down, all that shit, and then you just don't for some stupid fucking reason. And what's weird about it is I felt like I was actually pretty solid until that happened. I switched over to Vanquish, made that trade, saw the bounce back to my break even, and I was like, well, I was just up a lot, so like I didn't want to take the loss because if I took the break even, I was fine going break even. But that's what's crazy about it is like I probably had I don't know, I'd have to like watch the tape here, quote unquote watch the tape. I probably had the opportunity to maybe only get out for like $100, $200 loss, but something about that of being like, I'm willing to be break even, but I'm not willing to take a small loss. Even though mathematically they're basically the same fucking thing. But something about that mentality, I think that's just what did me dirty. And dude, I am getting hammered. I'm just riding this whole trend against me. And this is, I could have flipped onto the trend. I was even calling it out. 1028, 1030. How stupid is that? How fucking stupid is it? Like, oh, fuck me, dude. I could have been in this entire trend up. I would have been massively green on the day. Why do I do this to myself? Oh, frustration. Frustration. You know you're in a bad spot when you're now just saying, oh, I think it's gonna, when you're banking on that miracle turnaround, you know you're fucked. You're no longer playing with math. And the real fucking dude, this is gonna, the kicker here, if I had to really bet, is as soon as I fucking lose the accounts with less buffer, as soon as that happens, it's gonna go like maybe another 5 or 10 points, and then that's gonna turn, and then it's gonna vomit. If I had to have some clairvoyant prediction of how the fuck this is about to play out, it's gonna go just enough for me to lose those accounts with the smaller buffer, and then it's gonna vomit. Like, as soon as you guys hear that, like the order filled where they're getting like cleaned out, that is your moment to know to then fade this. That is like the perfect moment for you to be like, okay, cool, this is the peak. We're going short. That's it. That's the fucking sign for sure. Without a gosh darn doubt in my mind, the second we're up to 64, you have this at 67. Yeah. Fuck, man. Sorry. You don't have to be sorry. This is like, it's my fault. I guess you could be sorry that my mom took so much fucking acetaminophen. Oh, this is like the brutal mental gauntlet of trading, of just like when you know better and you just don't do it for whatever reason. It's that, like, I don't know if it's necessarily greed or this or that. It's just, as much as like maybe anyone can articulate like, hey, like it's not always going to work. You're not always going to be green, like blah, blah, blah. I have to do some management. I can't just keep getting fucking steamrolled here. Do I want to... I don't know what to do. Everyone has a fucking plan until they get punched in the face, I suppose, right? Oh, why did that go? Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face. Where VWAP is down at 151. We have resistance at 175. Oh man, I'm just lighting money on fire. Like the accounts with the bigger buffer are going to be fine unless I just go like completely nuclear today. Which, hey, maybe I'm not far away from that. But the smaller accounts, they're on the edge. Like, so I just feel stupid and I'm like burning fucking money because of how many times I've had to pay for those. And then finally they had enough buffer. Oh, I should have been faster. And that's why that strategy that I've been like telling you guys about, dude, it's so much fucking better if you just fully automate it. Why is this not updating for you guys? Oh, there we go. Look at it. I could have rode that whole thing up. Granted, it's better than it was, but I called out at 10:30. Just because, once again, you had the opportunity to get in at 10:30 with the risk being low. And now it's fucking going, son of a bitch, dude. I'm being so stupid for no fucking reason. I have no good reason to be doing what I'm doing right now. At this point, I mean, I feel like for the past 15 minutes, my only reasoning is, hey, maybe I'll get a fucking YOLO miracle. Like, that's it. Yep, there goes the small accounts. Motherfucker, dude. Oh, it's just frustration at myself. It's so fucking stupid. I could have been in this whole thing. I called it out. It's one thing to call it out and not riot and be like, oh shucks, like I could have rode that. But then to be the opposite. Like, that's fucking purgatory. That's actual fucking purgatory. It's one thing to call it out and just miss and be like, oh, okay, cool, I didn't get that play. Like, yeah, whatever, shit happens. There's going to be a lot of plays that you were paying attention to that just didn't go your way. That's going to happen all the time. But then to be so fucking dumb to be holding it the whole time, that's a special type of dipshit. That's a really, really special type of dipshit. Oh, fuck me. Fuck me, dude. So dumb. Yeah, the buff baby accounts, the 5 that had the small buffer, they just got clocked, which means that this is going to definitely be the high and it's going to vomit from there. Like the moment. So stupid. Oh, that's going to be it. Fuck Amazon even getting the pump. Nvidia we don't have to overcomplicate trend identification. And I think we could all admit on this break at 1031, not knowing where it's going, like literally not knowing the next bar, 1031, that's where you're like, oh, maybe there's a shift. You have a low risk opportunity and then boom, the fish goes. So as a person who's trying to fish and catch the fish the whole day, you had the opportunity to get involved and then just to miss it. Well, no. I can't even say that. It's one thing to miss it. It's a completely different fucking thing to like be riding against it. Like I don't know what happened. I guess I have to rewatch this to understand why I was just unwilling. I guess I just didn't want to take the loss, which is, I don't know why some days I'm so willing to be like, yeah, no, whatever, I'm lost. I guess it's because I know I should have been break even, and then I got pissy that I couldn't get out for break even. I feel like I shouldn't have taken a loss. Knowing that the exact system on that one would have got me out for break even. So the fact that I couldn't, I think then I got pissed off about that and felt as if I deserved to get out for break even. And you see what happens when you feel like you deserve shit in the market. Yeah, Tesla's ripping today, up 3.5. Palantir's ripping too. It's up 4.3. AMD's having a good day. Hood's having a great day, up 8.5%. Hood's having a fucking great day. Wow. Oh, we're battling it out. I'm now just every single pump here. I've been praying that that's the turn zone. And now I'm just doing that again. I see this high. I know it's the high from yesterday. I'm hoping that this is the point that shit plays out. I don't know. I'm being fucking stupid. I'm being stupid. And I think at some point, yeah, I'm pretty sure it was this show. I was like, okay, I need to pick the point where like I just admit I'm wrong and I just didn't do it. And actually, if there's, I would say one thing that I could teach you today that's like a very, very good lesson. When you have those like oh shit lines where like, okay, I have to pick where I'm wrong. It's a lot easier to do that before you're in the trade. And then you get into the trade and right away set it up. It's, well, I can only comment for me and my psychology. It's a much harder to do when you're in the trade and things are going against you. And you're like, okay, I'm going to pick it there. So as a quick pro tip for you folks, try that as a technique. Like when you're into something, like maybe before you get into it, say, okay, this is where like, if it's wrong, I'm putting my stop in. You enter the trade and put your stop right away. Kind of like remove yourself from like that emotional, like market is moving decision making, because you're potentially opening yourself up to do what exactly I did. Very, very important to be like, pick exactly where you know you're like, hey man, I'm wrong, and just do everything in your power to stick to it. Because in reality, I am now 60 points away from where I would have had my oh shit line, costing me a lot of money. And not only did it cost me the money, but then it also cost me the opportunity to get into the new trend, which I probably would have gotten into. So sometimes I think this is important of your levels to be quote unquote getting out, admitting you're wrong. They can cost you double. And that is very, very important to note. They can cost you double. Not only the loss of where you should have got out, but then maybe it costs you from getting into the new trend that you should be into. So it's not just a L. It could be the L, a larger L, but then also missing out on the next win. I hope that makes sense. I hope to at least one person listening in that makes sense. And I want to do this Payday Friday giveaway, but I'm still kind of fucking watching this in disbelief of how stupid I fucking am. I've already lost the 5 accounts with small buffer, but I'm now at the point of attempting to salvage the main accounts, which I need to do something because I can't lose the big accounts. I put too much effort into it. Can a technical analysis on PL? I don't know. I don't know what the fuck PL is. Remind me in a little bit. I'm not looking at PL right now. To be completely honest, I don't give a fuck about some random ass ticker right now. What is the flow? Wow. Holy fuck, dude. I got steamrolled. I got absolutely steamrolled by that flow. Holy shit. So not only, this is before when I was saying, hey, remember those times you have to be good because you don't know, like it's that one in rare chance that it goes so bad you lose your accounts. This is that rare thing that this is what you're avoiding. So before when I was like so dogmatic about no, stop break even, because you don't know those times it breaks that it goes so far. And even though it doesn't happen often, and yesterday I showed you 5 different trades where if I just held it a little bit longer, it would have come back in my favor. Well, maybe subconsciously that's what I noticed from yesterday where I'm like, yeah, okay, just hold on to it. It's going to end up being fine. You're on the right side of the trend. Nope. Boom. Though rare, you get these examples of when I said, if it trends against you, it can always fucking get worse. And that's exactly what we're seeing right now where, hey, we were trending down and the trend decided to flip. And sometimes you just get absolutely steamrolled. So unfortunately, this is a real-time example against me. But I think from educational standpoint, this is that, like, sear this into your memory of why you are willing to take either break even or small losses all the time is because you do that. And even though many of the times it's going to come back in your favor, you're like, shucks, I could have made money. It's because of times like this that, hey, the trend reverses, it runs away and you lost everything. Like I can't say I lost there. I didn't lose all my accounts. Fortunately, I did lose 5 of them, but it's important to note. And I don't know how, should I just take this loss now? I'm torn. And of course, the buffer is always a huge fucking issue. Oh, the buffer is always a huge fucking issue. We'll see. Where did we run to on SPX? Right up to 68. So we ran up to this double top high right here. Some sort of alert on MSTR. All right, well, we're going to do this Payday Friday giveaway because it is way over time. So if you haven't already, I'm going to give you a couple more minutes, but like, retweet, and follow. Once again, like, retweet, and follow. It's pinned to the top of chat. It's in the description of the video. We're going to do a marble race and then giving away 10 prop accounts, 5 funded future networks, and 5 Vanquish Trader. So it's free for everyone. Just get on to Twitter. Once again, like, retweet, and follow. You have a couple minutes. Twitter comment or Twitter picker. What's the website that we use for this? All right, cool. Where's the actual thing? Nope. I need this. I'm going to give you a couple minutes and okay, we're going to do 5 and then we'll do another 5 and obviously you have to follow. Okay, I'm going to give you guys a couple minutes to figure that out. I am hang on. Here, let me show you this. I should have been out all the way. I should have been out on this break. Yeah. And I could have been long right here. That was the long. See, we flip all the EMAs, we pop, we pull back into the EMAs. You're long at 09. You're risking 12 fucking points. Your stop was at break even in like the next bar, and you got to ride this all the way up. And then maybe on this breakdown here out at 61. So I was in at 10. That's 50 points. I would have made $1,000 per contract. I would have already been net green on the day. Like, oh my God, dude. Looking at it of like, dude, if you just stick to it. And I know in the real time, it's almost like hard to consider. Like, oh, no. Like if I lay it down, it's like hard to think about how that next trade might go for you. But to see this in real time, fuck, man. Yeah, because I would have been out. My average was 80. So let's even say I got knocked in and out at the same level. So I'm out 30. That was 50. Yeah, net green. I already had 400. Oh my God, the pain on that is immense. And now I need a miraculous breakdown. Like a fucking miracle breakdown. It needs to snap super trend. It needs to snap this 50 EMA. But actually, if anything, this dip might be bought by people. This might be firing another bull signal here soon. Actually, should I just be getting out? I mean, inherently, if I'm short and we're firing a bull signal, maybe that's my time to fucking say see ya. That might be my time to say see ya. How's the flow? Let me check. Let me check this. Mag 7 is still going. SPY is also still going. Jesus Christ. Okay, do I just want to cut it or do I want to cut it and flip? Do I just want to cut it and cut? Because it is a bull signal. So the bull signal itself means I need to get the fuck out. But do I want to try to play it or am I too tilted? Pop the pullback. Oh. That was a beautiful entry at 54. Dude, look at this expansion. Just see how they were all messy. Finally, you get this shot right here. They finally stack properly. 10, 20, 30. Oh, the 1030, 1031 right here. If you took that entry, that's a phenomenal trade. Not obviously, we now know it played out very much in your favor, but I'm just saying, even from a risk reward, you were risking nothing and you took that potential breakout, but at minimal potential risk. And it did obviously expand quite a bit in your favor, and you probably would have cut bait here at 1050. But for a 19-minute trade, you made 50 points. That's $1,000 per contract. What a fucking phenomenal trade that was. A phenomenal trade that was. Oh, I'm questioning this. We pump, we pull back. It's officially a higher low. I've done nothing all day but fight the fucking trend. A miracle would need a breakdown of 48. I don't see many big orders. Like, yeah, some people are selling at 70, 80. Other people are buying at 45 and 30. We're kind of just going sideways. I'm not seeing. Nope. We're fucking breaking out. God fucking damn it. It's a bounce off of VWAP, isn't it? Yep. Oh my God. What another phenomenal fucking entry. The VWAP bounce. We pump up. We pull back. Dude, for a million fucking reasons, that was a quality entry. We dip, we pull back. You're long at 55, risking 48 if you're wrong. And this is what I mean, is like, as soon as you get in, just tell yourself what the risk is, but set it. Just set it. Like, literally just go in there and fucking set your risk. Okay, so what can I do to be fucking smart? 68, 48, 20 points. What's the flow looking like? That's a curl. That's strong. That's strong. Potentially bullish. So the one thing that I don't necessarily like is the 5 is testing here. We don't know necessarily which way it's going to break. The 10 as well. Like, we ran up into it, not really following through. Same thing. The 5 came up here and then all of a sudden we stalled out. The 10 came up here, all of a sudden we stalled out. This is the one thing where like I should have cut the short for sure, but I actually don't know if I would have chased the long because the 5, the 10, and the 30 are all still bearish. So that, like, if you're using the momentum as a major filter, you probably wouldn't have chased this because you're like, nope, bearish, bearish, bearish. It's one thing if one of them is bearish, but I should have cut the short. Not sure if and then I should have cut it. And then on this breakdown, on a VWAP failure, I could have got back in, saving myself, I don't know, 60 points per contract or some shit like that. Oh, but be careful of this failure, the EMA. Basically, be careful of snapping this recent low, this one right here. Am I so fucking stupid to add one? If this fails, am I that dumb? It's hard to play the market right now. We all know it's overvalued, and when it comes to comes down soon, it's causing bearish bias for me. But value is a fundamental thing that has nothing to do with active trading. I don't think fundamentals have anything to do with active day trading, scalp trading, swing trading at all. I think that has something to do with investing, and if you think it's overvalued, probably not the best time to invest in the market. But I don't think that has a place at all in this. I really don't. Really don't. This situation, at least for me, just comes back to stupidity. I broke my risk rule. I didn't have my risk. I didn't honor my risk, and I paid the price. That's what happens. Sometimes you can get lucky. And if you play a little loosey-goosey with your risk, yeah, once in a while, the market's not going to make you pay. But if you get into that habit, it's going to do exactly what it did to me today, and you're going to have to pay the bill and really fucking pay the bill. Oh, Matthew. Well, Chris, you're fucking dumb. Guess who's getting timed out? Stupid fucking comments. Oh. Now it's luck. We got range bound. Is it going to break my way or not? I'm watching. We have the 50 EMA. We have psychological level. We have buy side liquidity. We have VWAP. We have a recent low. Oh, we ripped right back up to VWAP. What a fucking noob play for me. Noob play. Absolute noob fucking play. It's such an extreme amount of frustration. Well, we do have now, for the first time in a while, potential lower highs, but that doesn't mean it's bearish until you take out some of these like major lows. 62. And what's crazy is we're really not. If you look at the first 15 minutes from market open to 9:45, we're just still in that range. So it just so happens like we're not really trending anywhere, but the range that we've made, it's so big that when you're oversized like a dipshit like I am, it costs you dearly. And I'm trying to decide how fucking stupid I want to be. I'm trying to think, if VWAP fails, all right, I'll turn it over to you guys. Not that I necessarily think I commonly don't ask you guys. So I'm obviously in a bad position, down 2.6K. If this fails, like if we start to fail at VWAP, would you add in another one to bring up your average? Because I'm in at 80. I mean, it's going to sling it all the way back up. And then like even just the chance. So it's adding on more risk, but it increases my chances of being able to get out for break even. So would you guys do that? If it failed at VWAP, if it failed at this recent low, like if we have lower highs, if we take out this low, would you add in another one? Or would you just be like, no, like if it actually breaks, just hold those ones and like maybe you'll get lucky? Because like I said, it increases your risk, but it also increases the chance of you being able to get out for break even. So that's the trade-off. We're starting to flip a little bit of these EMAs here. No, BTC is sitting green, speed will follow. No, that correlation does not exist. I did double down at the top, but I managed to take 80% of the original bet at the bottom, so I'm in profits. Yeah, and had I been in profits, I could have been a bit more creative with this particular play. I did on SPY yesterday, and I'm still sweating. Oh, Cody, I get that feeling. Are we doing a little double bottom? We're back at VWAP. Back at VWAP. I get that feeling. I get that feeling. I cannot believe I just didn't cut it. I was being such a fucking asshat. We're going to do the giveaway right after I figure out how to fucking manage this play. I'm just being such a dipshit. Some buyer, okay, here's VWAP 151. You have some buyers at 150, but you also have sellers at 165, 170. The EMAs have not really flipped that much in the short term. We are at the 50 EMA on the 1 minute, but right here, the 5 minute went right all the way up to VWAP, having a little bit of weakness. 10 minute went all the way up. That doesn't mean it just can't put in a higher low and then break through, but it also could be a failure and send it back down. It's just more of like, it's saying, hey, like just pay attention. It's not necessarily definitively telling you bullish or bearish. Same thing here. We pop all the way back up, we stall out. Just because you stall out doesn't mean bullish or bearish. It just means you stalled out. It means exactly what it's showing of. We broke down. It's trying to decide. And if anything, it's just like kind of screaming, hey, like neutral, neutral, neutral. Neutral, neutral, neutral. Neutral. What's the flow looking like? I need to look at this. Mag 7 did pop, maybe a little bit of a top there. S&P 500 actually ever since 11:02, the turn of the hour, taking a little bit of a breather, but actually right now just got a little bit of a pop. Where was the S&P 500? Right here. It's still at that 50. So this is where it was battling a lot yesterday, 60 to 65. If you remember yesterday, dude, that was the zone. We're right at VWAP. All right. I think I want to update this where I cut the whole position. So I try to increase my average there, but I'm going to play it really tight. I'm actually thinking of even maybe about 65. Basically playing the VWAP breakdown. 50-50 shot. Well, probably less than 50-50. Probably 60-40. 60-40 we bounce, 40 we break down. Against me. I want to be clear. But I'm looking at the EMAs. The 10 came below the 20. We came up to VWAP. Third distinct time we tested it, but I'm playing it with low risk. And actually, I think at this low risk point is where I might cut them all and just end my fucking misery on the day if that hits. Oh, fuck. Watching this. Basically praying that this doesn't hold. Well, really praying that we don't get this break here. Like I said, I give myself about a 40% chance of this working. But I just need something to get out of my fucking misery on this today. I'm trying to give myself a little bit of a shot. Maybe if we turn right here, I can lower the risk even more. I'm paying attention to it to try to see if I can find an even closer point to just be like, yeah, fuck this, it's wrong. But we have this bounce here. Do I just want to cut it now? This is just not my day. Well, it's coming for it. Look at that. All right, the one I added on got knocked out, obviously. I was not going to let this one just fucking rip. The question is, do I want to get out of all of it? How are we looking? What I don't get about this is Amazon still getting hit this entire time. This entire time. And VIX is picking up. Like, what? Dude, shit's gonna fall apart. Like, how the fuck am I on the wrong side of this? It's not the wrong side. I think I'm going to be proven to be right. I think the issue here is my sizing, which is like inevitably going to always be my fucking problem. VIX is rocketing. If you are like not finding this concerning as a bull right here, I don't know what to tell you. Like I deeply believe I'm on the right side of this. It's just my size. I oversize and the timing of it was off. The VIX is ripping right now. How much damage am I doing, dude? I need to keep this more reasonable. I can't give this up. I'm right, the market is wrong. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm admitting my leverage is wrong, but I'm pointing out measurable things. Are you saying the VIX is wrong? Why would the VIX be going up right now? Like, I'm not making this up unless you're saying I have a bad data feed or something. Are we not all seeing from 8:30 until now the VIX is skyrocketing? And hey, maybe I do have a bad data feed. I mean, maybe you let me know if my VIX is up. But the fact that if this isn't getting your spidey senses to say something is wrong here, I guess I don't know what will. Because what percentage jump is that? It's up 7.5% and the market's up, dude. There's a mismatch. That's a crazy mismatch. From holy fuck, 7.6% jump. I'm looking from like right before market open today. The VIX. Someone said the VIX was wrong yesterday. What are you talking about? Chat went all the way up. Remember the inherent math of the VIX. The VIX is basically the vol, the expected vol of an SPX option 30 days out. VIX is ripping, but we're putting in a higher low here. Why am I still in my position? Why the fuck am I still trading today? I should have been done so fucking long ago. So fucking long ago. All right, let's do this giveaway. I got to take my mind off of it because I'm just doing fucking dumb shit. it's just going to get worse for me. So, hey, we might as well do something more fun, more exciting. So, first of all, shout out to Vanquish. At least I locked in 1.6K there. Enough money to probably just pay for the fucking Apex accounts I'm going to have to buy. Vanquish, 70% off, one free reset, code Goonie. Funded Futures Network, 50% off evals. Buy one, get one, no activation fee. Code Goonie on both deals end today. Check them out. Pinned to the top of chat in the description of the video. You're going to get a couple more seconds to figure this out. Like, retweet, and follow. Pinned to the top of chat. I've said this a gazillion times, so you probably should have already done it, which means that we should start picking our winners. We're going to do 5, 5, and then all 10 are going to be together for the race. The first 5 right now that we're about to do are for Funded Futures Network. So the first 5 you see selected here are going to be getting a code for 50K eval on Funded Futures Network. So this is for the futures account. Let's see how this all goes. All right, we're searching right there. All right. All right, let me take a screenshot so we don't forget who this is. Let me download this. Download, great. SM Gut, Forward Performance, Fuzzy, Chaos, Crypto, Noobster. All right, let's do another one. Pick winners. We're doing the second 5. These are for Vanquish, Rob, Profit Surfer, Altcoin Prez, ASAP, and Elon Muskie. Remember, for you guys, they're going to reach out and DM you, so you all have to follow Vanquish. So if you are one of these 5, make sure you follow Vanquish. Very, very important. Very, very important, or they won't be able to give you the code for your free account. All right, we do that. All right, we have all 10. Cool. I have the screenshot saved. All right, let's get rid of this. Oh, fuck, that's probably not good for me. It is not good for me. All right, I need to close. Wait, is this going to close on all the proper accounts? Hang on. What the fuck? And the VIX is still ripping. Dude, someone has to explain this to me. All right, where is the... Why is this game not loading? Games. View games library. All right, I have to reboot this for some reason. All right, here we are. We don't need this. Continue, race, random, bots, settings, add names. All right, hang on. Let's get all the winners, downloads. Okay. So the first batch was SM Gut, Forward Performance, Fuzzy, Chaos, shout out, and then Crypto Noobster. Crypto Noob. All right, those are our first batch. Second batch, Rob, Profit Surfer, Altcoin, ASAP, and then Elon Muskie. Okay, finished. We have our 10. And we are playing on Shattered Dreams. All right. We are playing. Is that breaking out again, dude? Oh, wait, a little bit of a turnaround. All right, let me move it that way. Let's move it this way. Higher highs, higher lows. I'm fighting trend. The VIX is still going up. Be careful about that. If you are chasing long, as quickly as you can put your stop to break even, do it. VIX is picking up. People are starting to bet on some sort of volatile event, and it's picking up ever since this morning. Things might get a little crazy if we take out yesterday's high, which the vol reading and the market are clearly out of sync, massively out of sync. That makes absolutely no fucking sense. Makes no sense whatsoever. Where are we at on this? Well, we don't need that one. 5-minute is red, but we're pushing. 10-minute is red, but we're pushing. 30-minute is red, but we're pushing on the NASDAQ. Same thing on ES. 5-minute, 10-minute, 30-minute are all red, but they're attempting to push. And on both the 4 hours, still favoring the bulls. Dude, this was a day for me to just not do anything, if I'm being completely honest. All right. Let's see. Let's do this. Let's get this over here. Let's get some tunes. Is this working? Okay, cool. We have some volume over there. Here's your last look at the market for a quick sec. Let's do this. We have our bots. All right. Alrighty. Folks, we have 10 of the fastest marble racers of the entire land. This is winner takes all. The only rule is that it's prison rules, as in the only thing that matters is the first person to cross the finish line. Other than that, everything else goes. This is basically Fast and Furious 15. So get ready, stand up, and I guess we're going to get our racing on in a second. Here on the screen are our 10 competitors. And I suppose before we get going to this, shout out to all of you. Who do you think's going to win? If you guys had to put money on the line right now, out of these 10 competitors, who do you think has practiced enough? Who do you think has been putting in all those steps? Who do you think has that perseverance, that grit, the determination? Who do you think has that dog in them? I'm curious, can any of you really call it out beforehand? I want to know who you think is gonna win. If you had to bet money, Chaos, Altcoin, Fuzzy, Chaos Surfer, Not Fuzzy, Crypto Noob, EM, Elon Muskie, Fuzzy Wuzzy Was a Bear, Grut and Grit. You need them all. I stepped away. Who are we rooting for? Well, that's what we're asking right now. Who do you think's going to get going? Elon, Ford, Chaos. A lot of votes for Elon, Chaos, Fuzzy, Ford. All right, we're about to find out because we are going to be rocking in 3, 2, 1. All right. Fuzzy getting a good drop. Ford, Surfer, Elon Muskie, Chaos, and Hot Pursuit. Fuzzy with the first drop on the left lane, followed by Ford on the right lane. Fuzzy making the first move. Will he catch the speed up? Yes, he does, taking the center lane, and then Chaos is in Hot Pursuit. Fuzzy going through some of these little spikes, followed by Ford. Fuzzy, Chaos, and Ford, 1, 2, and 3. Let's see how this goes. It is a battle between Fuzzy and Chaos. Oddly, the people who you guys called out. Fuzzy taking the lead, but Ford taking the smart path on the left. Chaos is currently leading, followed by SM Gut. Ford and Elon Muskie are right there. Elon Muskie taking the left path and also taking the lead. And then Surfer surfing his way into the silver medal position. All right, Elon Muskie, Surfer. How is this going? Elon Muskie and Surfer, the Silver Surfer, battling it out. Elon, altcoin coming in. Chaos regaining his gold medal position. How's this going to go? Chaos, will he be able to hold on? Yes, no, maybe so. Whoa, Chaos! Is he going to hold on? Ouch. The leaders, Elon Muskie and Chaos, suffering an untimely demise, leaving the lead to Ford. Ford Performance. That was SM Gut. Also, Fuzzy. Also, we have some deaths. Well, like I said, anything goes in this, folks. Anything goes. Here we go. Ford. Almost won. Ford, what are you doing, brother? Ford almost had it. And Altcoin steals the win. Altcoin steals the win. Ford, you were right there. And he got catapulted backwards. He almost had the 150 of cold, hard cash. Ford, what are you doing, brother? Oh, Lord. Altcoin. He had that dog in him. Dude, that's why you go to the end. That's why you go to the end. Dude, Ford was a hair away. A hair away. Damn. Altcoin wins. It's a sign. Congratulations. 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 Folks, if you were selected off of Twitter, if you were in the second back for Vanquish, make sure you follow Vanquish on Twitter because they're going to be following up with you today. If you were in the first batch, I will be following up with you. Actually, I'm going to follow up with all of you, and especially I'll be following up with Altcoin because I got to get your PayPal for your cold, hard cash. What a race. What a race. What a race that was. Dude, VIX is popping. VIX is popping. Damn, the one that I entered, once again, if I gave it a little bit more sweat room. Oh, this right here. This was the exact trade I was telling you guys about yesterday. Do you guys remember this? This bar right here, 1124. Everything's bullish. We vomit. We try to recover. The recovery fails. You're short at 56. You're risking 63. At this point, you broke and put your stop to break even. This is the second time we saw this exact same bar setup. Like I said, this bar setup right where my cursor is right now, I've been studying this recently. And once again, it's defined as all the EMAs are pointing in one direction. In this direction, it's bullish. The 5 is on top. Here, let me clean it up a little bit just so there's less going on. The 10 EMA is on top of the 20, is on top of the 50. All bullish, all going up. It vomits. You're expecting some form of recovery. It attempts to recover. First green bar is actually smacked. You short on the breakdown. Your risk is the high. It vomits. At this point, you set the stop to break even, and you have a free runner. We saw it again yesterday. There was a phenomenal trade as well. Phenomenal. I can't believe I've traded like dog shit today. But anyway, shout out to Altcoin. Sorry to Ford. Chaos, you died. Fuzzy, you died. Elon Musk, you died. There was a lot of deaths in that one. Dude, I told you guys about, well, actually, shout out to Seth, but whoever was chirping me to be like, the market's wrong. Yeah, the market was fucking wrong. In fact, to whoever asked that like asinine fucking question of, oh, the market, yeah, it is wrong because we saw this. We saw this. We saw this. So yeah, to directly answer your question, the market was wrong. Yeah, it was. C, if you're more of a Spanish-speaking consumer, C, the market was wrongo. It was. And now we're seeing it, maybe a double top. I don't know how far it's going to go at this point. It has to go down pretty far to reverse course because that was quite the bounce. But just watch. Vol is telling us something is up. Vol is clearly telling us something has been up. We're about to take out the high from yesterday. We got this reading at 350. That's when SPX yesterday was all the way down here. We're about to have a higher vol reading right now at 6,858 than we did all the way down here. Something's up. Mismatch. The market's not agreeing. It's not simpatico, whatever the fuck that word is. Oh, wow. All right. Anyway, if you're one of the winners, I'm going to be reaching out to you today. Be on the lookout for a DM from me. Altcoin, congrats to you. Where are you? Altcoin Perez. I'm going to be reaching out to you. Me explaining how I lost $9,000 trying to revenge trade my $50 loss, dude. That's how I feel today. This is the altcoin. Congrats on your win, and this is hitting way too close to home, brother. Me explaining my $9,000 loss trying to revenge trade my $50,000 loss. Oh man, hits too close to home. Altcoin hits too close to home. All right, well, I'm going to go try to salvage my accounts. I've traded like a fucking asshole today. And in all reality, I deserve the losses I have because it's my fault. I did not have any. I can't even say I didn't respect my risk. I just didn't set it. And I guess a couple things led to me being not paying attention. And by the time I realized I should have set it, I felt as if I deserved to be break even. And the market had different opinions. So I could have rode this. I could have been out at break even. I could have rode it up. I could have rode this trend back down. I could have made so much fucking money today. And instead, I'm just begging to get out for break even. That's crazy. That's crazy. Like, you just, not only is your loss a loss, but it can then also stop you from being on the right side of history. And that's 100% what happened to me today. And it's foolish. You know better. You know better. We should all know better. Anyway, watch vol. Watch for vol to break out of 1740, 1760, these recent highs. So watch the VIX. The Russell's actually catching a bid. Bitcoin's catching a bid. There must be some news there because that's a large bounce in Bitcoin. Tesla having a pretty freaking good day. Palantir was having a good day, giving some back. AMD was having a good day, giving some back. Pay attention to NVIDIA. If any NVIDIA goes, market's in trouble. Pay attention to Microsoft. If that goes, the market's in trouble. Pay attention to Apple. If Apple goes, the market's in trouble. All right, folks. That's what I have for you. As I said, I have to go see what I could do to salvage my accounts. As you know, I've had 15 large accounts in terms of large, as in they have large buffer. So we're hopefully, I haven't lost them yet, an emphasis on yet. But the small accounts that barely had any buffer, unfortunately, in that pump, I did lose them. So I have to go try to figure that out. But the name of the game for me today is to see if I can salvage like the big accounts and keep them alive and well. And maybe at some point, if something happens, I can actually maybe get those small accounts back. But hey, buffer is king, and I just didn't have enough buffer. But in reality, it was my fault. I can't even blame it on buffer. It's 100% my fault. 100% my fault. So I'll let you know how it plays out. I'm hoping to get the big accounts back to a manageable place. Right now, as I'm leaving you, they're all down. What? Did I lose my data? What the fuck? Okay, this is less than ideal. I don't...
Order filled.
Right now, they're all down about 2.3K unrealized and 1.6K realized. So if I can get that loss to under 1,000, that's awesome. Break even's clearly even better. And even in the green, that would be amazing. Maybe I could pull it off if the market has a gigantic drop from here. If we return to the intraday low, yeah, I have a real shot. I don't think it's necessarily out of the question. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I just want to not be an asshat and give all my accounts back. I've already taken a hit, giving back 5 of my 20 accounts. Once again, those were the ones that had the small buffer, but the ones with the large buffer that I've been working on for about 2 weeks now, they're still fine. I mean, they're taking a hit, but they're still technically fine. So let's just see how this goes. So I'll post a thing on Twitter, or if you're in the Discord, I'll let you guys know how that goes in there. But right now, I am in recovery mode. So we'll see how that goes out. Shout out to Vanquish. Use that code Goonie. Shout out to Funded Futures Network. Use that code Goonie. Today's the last day on both of them to get those deals. And sign up for the trading Discord if you want to hang out with the Goonies. Other than that, have a great Friday. Have a great weekend. We will be posting the update video on Sunday. I hope to catch you guys all there. Love y'all. Peace.